All right, welcome back. Today we're hanging out and we're going to build a little similar to Snake, and we're going to use React. So this is Logie Bear, and he has
not just logo. I'd say see-through since I'm wearing
see-through.
since I'm wearing green.
Since you're wearing green, yes. So and Grayson, do you want to introduce yourself?
I'm Grayson. I'm also here. I'm just coming in remote.
Coming in remote, so we can sort of pair on this and stream this remotely.
All
Logan
right,
has
so here's my paper. So what we're gonna do today is so this is gonna be train and we're gonna actually use emojis for this.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
I have the train emoji right here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so right here is gonna be the train emoji. It spawns right here. Right here is where the bad guys spawn. And then the food will spawn at a random position. I mean, the luggage.
The luggage spawns at a random position. Okay.
Uh-huh. So if we see right here, this is the luggage.
Okay.
And this is the luggage.
And what are these controls? What does that do?
Oh, those are the controls for this.
Okay.
And this will just spawn. You have to get to the luggage before this guy gets to the luggage. This is a bad guy.
Okay.
Luggage.
Okay. And so we move the train with left, right, up, and down? Do you have to hold down the thing, or do you just, if you push it once, does it just change direction?
No. If you push it down, it goes 3 pixels down.
3 pixels down. Okay. And then you have to push it again.
And then you have to push it again to go 3 more pixels down.
So you kind of just like tap, 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 tap to move around? Okay.
Tap, 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 tap. But the Snake game is a little different because when you tap it, you go all the way.
Okay.
But it is inspired by the Snake game.
It is inspired by the Snake game.
Can we look at our chat instead of our brands?
Yeah. So let's say, all right. So let's switch to this view, and let's make a new. Let's make a new browser that we can look at over here. And okay, so the very first thing that I want to do is, I think we're going to make this in React today. React is something that I'm excited to learn. I have used it for a couple little things now, but I would definitely not say that I'm like a pro at React. And so
when you are pro at Rails,
I feel much more comfortable in Rails than I do in React. So what we're going to do is create React app. I heard there's a new version of create React app, so we're going to play around with that. And how does it work? npx create React app my app. Does this work? Let's try. npx create React app, and we want to call it train tame. Oh, train tame? No. Control C. Train game. Okay. So now create React app is going to download and do a bunch of stuff.
Oh, while we're doing that, let's just go to me and Grayson so you can just talk for a little while it downloads.
Okay.
All right, so we want to get to build. So what we're trying to build today is what I just said. And one thing I don't think anyone recognizes. Dad, do you recognize what this symbol is?
Is that the sound signal?
Yeah, I was at my computer and I actually caught the sound symbol.
Ooh, you caught it.
I was looking at the sound symbol and drawing it.
Okay. So
we can add some sound.
Okay. So what are the sounds going to be?
Well, we're just gonna have some background music. That's all.
Okay.
And the background music should be controllable.
Oh.
It should be controllable.
Okay. Why don't we start with just like what I imagine here on this square is, wow, that's really hard to see. Okay. So we're gonna build a grid.
See this right here, Dad?
Yeah.
That's actually just the whole background. I added pieces out of it so I could just write.
So you can add labels.
So I could add labels out of it.
Okay.
So it's not. really a square.
Okay, so we've got our Create React app here loading up. Cool. All right, so edit this thing, save and reload. Okay, so okay, so we've got app.js, and this, instead of saying learn React, we're going to say play train game. And let's see if it changes. Play train game. Cool. All right. So then.
And then Dad, but React pops up though.
Yeah, React. It redirected us to the React page. All right. Let's just say H1 like play train game.
Logo. Import logo.
Oh, logo. What
we
about
have
it?
to take away the logo.
Okay, let's do that because it's not used anymore, right? Okay, play the train game. Cool. So now we want to make a grid of squares where I think like each square, it can be the same color as the background, but that'll let us know like where on the grid the train is.
It's called React app.
Yeah, React app. That's okay. Oh, do you want to change the
name?
We want to change the title, the HTML title. Okay, let's see. Title train game. All right, let's see. Boom, train game. How's it look?
Good.
Approved? Logan,
Yes.
it's Logie Bear approved.
Logie Bear approved.
All right. Yes, Grayson, what's up?
Can we just pop in at times?
Yeah, sure.
So,
You disappeared. I cannot hear.
that's what I meant to do.
Oh, yeah, that's what you meant to do. You meant to pop out? Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. We're for you to pop out.
I meant like to pop in at
Cool.
sometimes.
So
you know?
I think what we want to do is we want to render like a game here, a game component, I think. And then I think the game component has like board, and it might have a train, and it might have like a state about whether you won or you lost, or maybe has the score, stuff like that. And then
Yeah, it does have a score. I just couldn't add that.
okay, so in game.js, I think we want this to be similar to, well, no, I think we want it to be like a class component where it's like game extends React component. And then we have to have a render function. Render, and this returns like something. Div, and let's call this, let's just say this is like the game. And then can we do that? Export class extends thingy, and then we say like import game from /game.js. I don't know. Maybe that'll work. Exports maybe. No. Okay.
Let's look it up since you're new to it.
Since I'm new to it, yeah, we better look it up, huh? All right. How do we? Is it module.exports?
Wait a minute.
Equals.
Is this all? Is this all gonna be is Rails just like one of those little tab thingies, and we know the rest of it?
We're not using Rails today. We're just using.
Yeah, is this like Rails, and it's just like a little tabby, and it's just like a little tab in it, or is it like capture all of the tabs? You know what I mean by tabs? Like, does it capture all of those?
Yeah,
Or
it
is
should capture all the assets and files on the left. Yeah. So right now, like when you load one page, it's loading app.js on the index here. So the index is like the entry, like this is the HTML that we're first loading. So see, this is some HTML that I'm sure you're familiar with.
I'm not familiar with any.
Oh,
HTML
you're
that
not?
much.
Okay.
I'm not familiar with so much HTML, but I do want to learn it.
Okay. Well, right here we have some HTML and it has a div ID root. And this root component is where we're embedding the thing. And yeah, where are we loading the JavaScript?
Logo? Can I change the logo?
Logo? Yeah, we could probably change it, but like right now, let's just leave it the same.
Yeah.
It's just the React one.
Hey,
So
Dad,
yeah, buddy.
did you see the Auntie Amanda popped in.
No. Oh, did she comment? Hey, what's up?
Amanda
Okay, yeah.
Amanda
Well-
Villa.
Welcome to the stream, sister. Yeah. What's up? What's up? We're writing some code. We're doing React right now.
React. Writing some code.
Okay, export default app. That's what I want.
Default.
Export, yeah,
Since we are
export
gonna make a little train
default
game. Hey,
game.
I know something. After we're done with this, then we can post a comment on everything. That shows the train game, so you can play it. So anyone can play it.
Okay.
So like people on Twitter can play it, Instagram can play it,
Cool.
YouTube. See, since we can post comments. Train game.
Hey, it's working. Popped up in her recommendations. Oh, well, that's good. Thank you for coming. You should hang out and watch. I mean, you don't have to, but you could. Sister. That's my sister, my baby sister. 16 years apart. Yeah, the youngest. She's the youngest of 5. I'm the oldest of 5. All right, so we've got the game appearing. So let's add to this. So we've got inside of the game, what I think we want to do is, like, I think we need to keep track of the whole board and know, so that we know like where the train is on the board and where the luggage is on the board.
Actually, this always spawns here. That always spawns there.
Okay.
That always spawns there.
So let's just try to figure out how to render a bunch of squares onto the page. So yeah, so let's give this ID board, and then let's iterate over squares. Squares dot map.
Actually, is fill even a thing in like real code? Which fill was a thing in real code?
Fill is, yeah. I mean, sort of, yeah. Are you? I mean,
because I really want to fill up the board of color.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, can we first render a train? All we need to do first is render a train.
Okay, so I think on the square, like for each square, we need to figure out, like, is the square a train square or is it a normal square? So yeah, so what we can do now is we can say, like, for all the squares, which for now we can just say like squares is a list of like 1, 2, 3. For all the squares, we want to render a square, which for now can just be like return. And a square can just be a div with the class of square. Ooh, I think in React this is different. I think this is class name. And then we can just say like X or something. But that's what we want for a square. Did I do this wrong? Oh, yeah. So I think if I just remove this,
actually,
just say square.
So can we actually add functions in here?
Oh, yeah.
A function called train.
Called train?
Yeah, was that a function called train? And then like, since the train is gonna have to be a whole function, there are like 1,000 things that need to be added onto the train.
Okay, what does the train need?
The train, it needs code. It needs a lot of code, is what I know. It needs like some code for the arrow keys for what they're the keys that do.
Okay.
I also need some code for if touching.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if touching the wall?
Good.
Die.
That's great. Yeah.
If touching the wall, die.
Yeah.
And I know something.
Hmm.
Since you have to get the luggage, and then luggage will appear in a different spot.
Okay.
And then you go get that luggage. Boop,
Okay.
And then the luggage will appear in another spot. But you don't grow. You don't grow. Like
You don't
the
grow.
Snake game.
Okay. So, what I'm wondering is that, like, when we initialize the game, it's going to get props, right? and then we have to say super props or something, and then we say this.
Dad,
dot
remember it's
state-
only us. It's only us.
Yeah.
Why? Are we showing them any of it?
You mean?
Like, why aren't we showing them this?
Oh.
You
You're right.
forgot
Okay.
that
I
we were-
forgot. Yeah. Okay.
You forgot.
So we just added a constructor to the game. We're adding a constructor here where taking in props, we're calling super with props, and then we're going to make a state. And the game state is going to have squares. And the squares, I think, I don't know. Should a square be
The squ- Oh,
like
Wait, this isn't a square. This is
I
an
know.
emoji. This is an emoji. But why are we just popping up squares?
So squares is going to be,
The tester.
I think we might want like a 2D array. Like I think we want an array where it's like where we have a
No,
row
I-
where it's
I
like
want an
X,
array.
X,
I
X,
want an array.
X, X, and then X, 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 X. And we just keep doing this until we have a board, until we have a whole game board. And then the position on the board, so like 0, 0 talks about this square. So what should that square be rendering? Is it populated with a train? Does it have a train? Does it have
the
luggage?
middle.
Does it
Actually,
have what?
We need it to in the middle.
The middle should be like the train, right? So if we say
No,
like
above that, above
oh,
the
this
train.
one.
Yeah, that.
Like that one should,
And actually, we need another one down there, so it can be in the middle. We need 5 of those, so like it can be in the middle.
so smack in the middle, just like that, huh?
Yeah, just smack in the middle.
Okay. And all right, so let's say we've got, I think this is what kind of like what we want to do. But now the question is like, do we want to store instances of the React component called Square?
Actually,
Or-
and I know where. So can you get a different letter for like right there? Like see.
So yeah,
see
if we
that?
say this one is like luggage, right? So you say like that's an L. So now the train has to like figure out how to like go down to and over to get the L.
Yeah, and
right.
then can you go this way? Over this way. See that? No, go that way now. No, go down. That one
Mhm.
is gonna be bad guy. It's
Okay,
gonna
so let's
go
say
like
B
the
for bad
villain.
guy, or V
Villain.
for villain. Okay. All right. So this is kind of what you're thinking, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's like the whole game born.
Okay.
For now, right there. Can we use
Bye, Amanda. Bye, Amanda. All right. So I think what we want to do is, I think we do want to have just components. Like if we have the React component directly in the Square. Yeah. So let's make squares just like a giant list of React components. What we want, I don't know yet, but we'll see. Okay. So, so how do we want to build this up? We want to say something like, I think maybe the game should take in props where the props are like height times width, right? So if we want to make like a board that's like
Mhm.
20 by 20, then we'll get
there isn't any board. It's just the whole screen.
I know, but like you're not going to be able to tell there's a board, but there is a board. It's going to be like a secret board that you can't actually see there's a board.
Since it's like bigger than your screen.
Yeah. So like I think in app.js where we pass game right here, we want to do like height is 20 and width is 20, something like that to start with. Right. And so then here what we want to do is we want to iterate and make 20 rows.
T equals 20.
Yeah. So props.height times do. Oh, this is Ruby. This is not JavaScript. Width times do.
This is Ruby.
Well, we can't write Ruby right here, but I just want to like kind of show you what I think we want to do. And then we want to add this. We just want to say squares, and then we add in
Oh, that's the D. Your D.
or row is equal to a
That's
new
your
thing.
D. Your D.
Yeah, I know the D doesn't work because this isn't Ruby. So this is kind of what we want to do, but we want to do this in JavaScript. So we want to say something like for R
Since we know var, we know 4.
You know var and 4?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We know a ton of all, but that what I keep missing it. JavaScript, not JavaScript.
Okay, I'm going to call the variable r instead of I so that we know that it's rows. So the outside one is rows. And we want to say, well, r is less than props or like this dot props dot height,
This dot.
r plus plus.
Oh, I know what this dot does. I want that there isn't squares. Is what I meant.
There isn't squares?
There isn't squares on the board.
Hmm.
There isn't squares. It's just a board. That's all.
Let squares equal this thing. And then
Well, we could do super thin
Yeah.
squares and you can see them.
I'm thinking that we want like, I don't know. Let's see. So we want to create a new square, or we want to create a new row. Let row equal,
Squares equal that.
and then we want to say row dot append, and we want to pass in a new square where it's like,
What? What do you mean by
X.
squares? What do you mean by new square? That.
I mean, we're trying to, okay, so I created a class up here called square, class square. So a square is just going to be like a part of the board. It's part of the grid on the board. And right now, each square is either going to have nothing, or it'll have a train, or it'll have luggage, or it'll have a bad guy. And so we need to figure out what we want to
can we make
render on the square.
Can we make the squares outline really thin? Really thin, so no one can like see them.
Yeah, we can make it invisible. We can make the square outline invisible, so you can't really tell that it's.
How can you make it invisible?
Well, we'll have to play around with it, I think.
To make it invisible,
Yeah.
we just put like 0. Let's make the length. Let's make how fat it is 0.
Okay.
And then we can make it as tall as we want.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Goofy, but you can pop into the background if you want to, or do you want to say something?
Let r. R has already been defined. What do you mean? Where?
What's defined? R equals R.
Identifier has already been defined. All right, whatever. I don't know why it's getting sad about that, but unexpected token. Oh my gosh. Okay, I see. So this should be this, and this should be this. X is not defined. Oh, yeah. So then squares just becomes squares. And then down here, after we create the whole row of squares, we want to say squares dot append row.
So many errors.
New game. Row dot append is not a function. Is it called push? Oh gosh, I can't remember in JavaScript. Okay.
That's
So
where
then
you
here,
can-
instead of squares, we
can
say
delete
this
the
dot state
X,
dot.
X under it.
Oh.
X.
Okay, so now we want to say something like inspect and
delete all
okay,
those
so when
X's.
there's, let's see, so
How do we delete all those X's?
well, right now they're actually, yeah, why isn't this showing up?
The X's should not show up.
Okay.
The X's should not show up. Did you hear me?
Now it says
Stuff.
stuff. Okay.
stuff.
So I thought we'd be able to say something like this dot props dot x, but it's not showing me anything. So I think I got that wrong.
I like that. I like that.
I know you like that because it's not showing anything.
But like we need a new page. So when you click you click it, and then it brings you to this new page where you play it. Boop, boop, zoom. And there's a game that says, and there's a thing that says restart. There's one that says restart, and you can only go up to, and you can only win if you have.
Mhm.
You win by getting 20 luggages.
Okay.
But the luggage can't spawn where you spawn.
Okay. So what is going on? Like, why isn't my
Is anyone watching us even?
why aren't these props available here by default? Do I need to like do something fancy?
Anyone have any ideas? Was anyone here even? Is anyone here? So if you look at the chat, no one has posted anything. So it looks like
That's
no one's
okay.
here.
Console. So we got a ton of objects.
Dad, how can we get
Undefined. Why?
you're in the app.js.
Okay. So that should be creating an instance of Square. Right?
Down here.
What?
At the bottom.
Oh, here it is. We don't actually want to pass anything. We just want to render this .state.squares. There we go. Cool. Cool.
What are those?
Cool. Those are all our squares. They just don't look like they're in rows yet. So maybe what we actually need is to also create like a row.
Dad, we need a new
Or no.
page to put the whole square stuff in.
Why?
It's not gonna be on this page. It's gonna be on a different page. Like you're just gonna click train game thingy.
Oh. Well, let's
We're
see
not
if we can
gonna-
get it. Let's see if we can get it playing around. Float. F. Okay.
Since if it's this play train game, then we have to have no title there, and it's just gonna show up the game. And it's not gonna have a title.
Okay. Getting warmer.
It goes all the way to a high number.
So then, yeah, what if we just do like, let's push the row and then let's push like BR.
We already have something like this.
Unexpected
I
token.
watched a video like an ad that was about this coder, and guess what?
What?
Air. Every time you code anything, air is everywhere. So guess what he did to stop those airs?
What?
He wrote down what he's gonna code on paper, and then he was like, and then he tried it, and then he's like, that part doesn't work in the code. That's what is starting like. That's what's starting my code. He learned. Wait, console.log. That's the first time I'm going to use that in a long time.
Is it?
Yeah. It's the first time in a long time that I've seen you use it.
Okay, so if s dot y is 0, console.log s. When you do map, let's see, array map in JavaScript, remember which argument will be the index and which one will be current value index and then the array. We have the current value is the square. We have the index, which is I. And then we have the array,
which is S.
which is S, yeah. Child should have a unique key prop. What is this? Key is number to string. Keys help React identify which items have changed, are added or removed. Keys should be given to the elements inside the array to give the elements a stable identity. So
Yeah, but first of all we have to look at a train emoji for me to use. And when we search up train, can I use your mouse and click the train I want? And click the little train I want.
click the little what?
Train I want.
Click the
Like,
little train you
Since
want.
there are more trains, there are more emoji trains than just one. Or like there's more than one smiley face. There's more than one for everything.
Oh.
Of emojis. Hang up the like we're gonna put in the emoji. When are we gonna put in the characters, Dad?
Soon. Okay. We just have to get the grid showing as a grid. So what I was thinking of doing is while we're iterating over the squares, if we're at the end of a row, then we do something. So let's console.log s. Oh, so s is all the squares. And then the first one in the item dot props, that's probably not how you're supposed to actually access it, right? Okay. So we need to know console.log this dot props dot
Wow, we're
height.
only using app.js. Looks like we're only using app.js right now.
Okay, so every time
that app.js does
if
something.
I modulo this dot props dot height is 0, then we want to console.log new line, I think. Okay.
You think everyone in the world has seen the letter A?
Where's I? Okay, why is it only giving us, okay, so that is the row, right? So for each, I see. Okay, so for each, oh, S is not even, okay. Squares is, this is, okay, so this is a misnomer. This isn't really squares, this is like the grid. So this dot squares dot map, and then we want to say row. Because this is actually an entire row, console.log row. No, actually, yeah. So now we want to say like return row.map. Row.map. Actually, we just want to return a div class row with the row in it. All right, that was confusing for a second. And then here, I think.
Oh, Grayson got deleted somehow.
Uh-oh. Okay, did he drop off? That's all right.
I guess Grayson dropped off.
That's fine. All right, so then inspect.
Since we didn't drop him off, he dropped off.
Cool. All All right, so then instead of making this a there we go. Nice.
Dad,
Okay, so
it's
this
too
is
long upwards.
what do you mean?
It's too long.
It's too tall?
upwards. Yeah, it's too tall.
Okay,
Too tall.
so we go back to app.js and we make the height smaller. So we just make the height 14. There you go. Okay, so then instead of the number though, now we want to
Okay, so-
render the state.
Why?
Okay, so the state we want here is how do we want to make the state?
Can we go a
So
little bit faster? I don't want to waste time. Since I want to get this done. I thought this is gonna be a quick one. Since I'm gonna go a little bit quicking, like while you're coding, I think we should also talk at the same time.
I'm trying.
Like don't stop and then
Okay, so what is the position of the train?
the train spawns in the middle of the board every time.
Spawns in the middle of the board every time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so then if we just say train is at this dot props dot height
I go to the
divided by 2.
room.
Okay, can you go? Yeah, all right.
I can.
Oh, we're gonna just like pause here for a sec. You got it? Okay. Height times width. I think that should give us where the train is. But then we need to figure out like, yeah, we need to figure out how to make the train here. So we have to find the square. So if we make a method here called place train, and it takes in a height and a width, or here, yeah, height. Let's just say X and Y. And then we can say, let's find the squares. We say this dot state dot squares dot find. We want to find a square. So we say like return square dot X is equal to X and square dot Y is equal to Y. Yeah. Yeah. So this is how you do a logical and between two, like if you're trying to check two things are equal, you use ampersand, ampersand. Isn't that cool?
Ampersand?
Ampersand, yeah.
What is ampersand?
That's this and sign. The and sign there is called an ampersand.
Can you even write that and sign? That I'm thinking that. Can you even write that and sign?
Oh, yeah.
On paper?
Okay, then if we call like square dot square dot set train, I don't know, does that work? And then down here we can say like this dot state is equal to something, and then like what if we say like display is initially it's just empty, but if we say set train, then this dot set state for the display is equal to train emoji. All right, which one?
That one.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the train.
And then down here I can just say like this dot state dot display. Oh, and then we have to call it. Yeah. So let's say
I don't know if there is in the background right there. I have to look at that. That's fine.
X is 4, Y is 5. Crashed. Can't call.
crashed?
Okay. Yeah, crashed. So let's see why. Okay, so this dot squares being an array of arrays is kind of becoming painful. So I'm thinking instead we just want to push onto squares and get rid of this concept of a row and just keep track of all the squares and where they're at. And then down here, this just becomes this dot state dot squares.
What's yarn lock?
No,
What's a yarn lock?
that's where we keep the dependencies for yarn. So it locks the dependencies at a specific version.
So are you in yarn lock? Hey, are you in yarn lock?
Am I in yarn lock? I was for a second, but then I bailed out of it. Okay. Row is not defined. Where's row? Row's not even used. Refresh. Okay. So if I,
Bro, is these?
let's say display is just X. If I modulo this
R,
dot props dot,
R is the thing. This R is the thing for return.
I'm going to return a fragment with the square and then a BR.
As you use.
Oh, expected. Okay, so that's weird. Can I not do that?
Square has already been has already been like that before that.
Okay.
You duplicated.
What is going on here? Oh,
Square's already used.
I thought we set the key for it though. We did.
Hmm.
Objects are not valid as React child found object with keys square. If you meant to render a collection of children, use an array instead. So this should just be the thing. Oh. Okay. All right. So
That's too wide.
yeah.
It's gonna be 5 wide and 5 tall. 5x is tall and 5x is wide.
I know. Why can't I do this? Oh, and then BR. Nope. Why is this so hard? React fragment. Can't use React fragment. Not. Oh, okay. Let's just try the whole thing. All right. Let's see here. Expected. Oh. All right. So it was a different error. Okay. So what is happening?
It should be 4 wide. Dad, let's just float. Let's float it. Dad, let's float it.
Let's float it.
So like 5x is wide, 5x is tall.
I thought we would be able to say like, okay, if it's not, oh, here we go. Let's see. There we go. Getting warmer.
No, it's not 5x is wide and 5x is tall. It's more than 5 tall. It's more than 5 wide.
Cool. All right, so
Dad, this is play train game.
place the train. So when we call place the train, are we finding a square now?
Find the middle square. That says 5 tall and 5 wide.
Okay, I don't think we're finding a square. How do people debug this stuff?
Debug.
Yeah, so like in game, right? I want to put a breakpoint right here. And I want to refresh the page so that when wait, is place train not even being called? Why not? Okay. Squares.find square. Square.x. Okay, so let's see. Play. And then we get in here. Square. Oh, it's square.props.x. Square.props.x. Props.y. We're probably not supposed to access those. I don't know. Okay, cool. So we found a square. And it is at 4.5. Cool.
Why does that say local host 3000?
Where? Oh, that's the port where we're running it. So we're running it locally. Square.set train is not a function. But it is. It's right here. Set train. Set train. Square.set train. Square.set train. We have to do something to make this like public. Does that make it want to work? Huh. All right. What's happening when we get here? Square is an instance of a thing.
Actually, I want to tell all the listeners here. So if you guys can, I'm gonna make like something like this, but not exactly like this. Like I want you guys to like pick a different theme. I picked a train theme, a train theme thingy. I want you guys to pick a different thing and make it work different. Then like I want to tell the people if they can make things like this, so I can look at other people who have tried, who have started to code on some more stuff.
All right, so this .props on name change. Give me my new name. All right, so how do we push down context? Do we always need to like repass? Like, how do I call set state on a child? Wait, let's see. The parent passes props and the child emits events. So do we have to the props? This .props . Like I want to set the state on the child. Parent component, toggle the menu. Okay, toggle the child menu, set this .set state, and then okay, so does this square thing, do we need to recreate these squares every single time from every time we render? Like
That's
maybe
X's right now. I want them to be X's.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if this has to be inside of here, where we say like const squares.
Like
is
when
this
we're gonna
thing,
make the luggage.
and then here we say just this .squares, and then if here, dude, look how much the camera's wiggling, bud. All right, I think are you getting tired? Do you want to bail on it?
Not bail, but not bail, but get done a little bit quicker.
Okay,
and
but
not
there's a
talk
lot.
So much.
There's a lot that goes into it. I'm trying to go fast, but there's a lot to figure out because I've never built this before.
I don't want to talk like as much as you're talking. Like not talk a ton, just talk a little.
Okay.
Like, just talk very little, so we can code more than talk.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's see. instead of calling place train, let's see if we can do this a different way, where we keep the train's position in state. This train,
Did you delete the train though?
and this will be like x is 0, y is 0. And here we say like if this dot state dot train dot x
Do you
is
know
equal
how to add
to
voice? Do you know how to add
C.
this? Dad? Dad, do you know how to add this?
no, I don't.
I wonder if you could break into my finder. Only if we could rob my finder I have.
What do you mean?
In my finder,
Uh-huh.
there's a picture of what the code to get noise in my finder.
Oh,
You have to break into my finder on my computer.
okay.
Not on your computer. We have to break into my finder that's on my computer.
Okay.
Do you know how to do that?
No.
I mean, oh, then that's gonna be difficult. I got it from in the coding train.
You did?
Yeah. I
Cool.
paused it. I took a photo of the thing, but I only got one little thing. So we have to use GarageBand and record. I could have done that. Remember how we got Pikachu's recording in? Pikachu recording in. We should try to get that in. We should try to get something like that in. Boop 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 boop. And I don't think we're gonna actually finish this today. I don't think we're gonna be able to finish this today.
You don't think so?
Yeah, we're not gonna be able to finish this today.
If this dot props dot train and
Dada, whenever we play the train game, I'm gonna change that play the train game. Can we change what said the play the train game?
hey.
See it says play the train game?
Yeah.
I'm gonna change that.
To what?
To a logo.
A logo. Okay.
So,
I thought you wanted to go fast.
Well, it's just gonna be a quick logo. You know why it's a quick logo?
Why?
It's an emoji logo.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so let's just go to where that is in the HTML. Then where is it? Let's just go fast.
Which logo do you want?
Right.
Or which emoji?
I want to be search up train, and I want next, that one.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
How to do that train?
It looks kind of like a trolley. Is it a trolley?
Well, I don't care, but I like it.
Okay.
I like that little trolley thing.
All right. So then we have this game here.
And then let's go quicker.
We're either displaying the train or we're displaying underscore. Just make it.
All right. Now, all we need is the arrow keys and the luggage. We can do the bad guy another time, Dad. We can do the bad guy another time.
Okay. So what's going on?
Let's just do the luggage and skip the bad guy. Let's do that another time. Got it?
Got it. Okay. So if all right, so we need luggage. Did I spell luggage? Yeah. Okay. So we want the luggage at like 1, 1. And that's the luggage. Is luggage at CR. Do the same thing.
So can't
Let's
say
say
where
is-
this train spawn.
Is luggage at CR, and then we say luggage. Okay. And then up
Can I-
here,
Can I tell you what the luggage looks like?
sure.
So like, let's go on to the luggage, and then inside there. So right with the luggage. So that's the train, and then let's display luggage.
So if there's luggage, and display should be luggage.
Yeah,
That.
that. Yeah, that. I was thinking, like, if we search up suitcase, let's search up let's just search up suitcase, and then like, remember those like suitcase bag things that are like, can I show you what I mean by suitcase bag thingy? So, is there a marker I can use that?
I don't have a marker, but you can try this pencil.
Right.
Okay.
On the back of here, I'll show you what I mean.
Okay.
So, Dad, I need to get you out of the way. Use that out of the way so I can draw it.
Okay, so I think each square should be like, say, width.
Like
is
this, Dad.
10
Like this.
X.
So, they're like this. This one I meant by the luggage. Like this. See this, Dad? See this piece of luggage? Like where you have the handle? Yes, that part. Like can we search it like suitcase or something?
That one?
Yeah.
Okay.
What's it called?
Briefcase.
That's a briefcase.
Yeah.
But can't spawn in the same place every time, Dad. When you collect it,
Mm-hmm.
when you go to that spot and collect it, it should spawn in a different place.
Oh.
And then you stay right there and go get it.
Okay.
Again. And it adds to your score. And then we'll be done for the day. We're going to do the other stuff and the bad guy another time.
Okay.
Got it?
So what are we doing? What's next?
So the arrow keys are next.
The arrow keys. So listen for arrow keys react. There's probably some library. Arrow keys react. Ooh, use key press react hook. So I haven't used any react hooks before. So let's try this hook out. This hook makes it easy to detect when the user is pressing a specific key on their keyboard. Okay. So
Is this all the stuff you have to do to make it?
Oh wow, it's just like, wait. Yeah, so this tells you, okay. So, state for keeping track of whether key is pressed. So this is the hook. Use key press. Up handler, set state, use state false. State for keeping track of whether the key is pressed. If the key is pressed down and the target key is equal to that target key, set key pressed true. Otherwise, set key pressed false. And then use the effect add event listeners. So we pass this thing a callback, and then an empty array ensures the effect is only run on mount and unmount. Return key pressed, which is this thingy. Happy press, sad press, robot press, fox press. Okay, so let's try to add a key press thing hook for our game, right? Actually, let's move our square into Square.js
Dad,
too.
remember to code more, not talk more. Since you're talking more than coding, it's code more than talking.
Well, the talking part is also useful for folks. Okay, because I want to like talk through what I'm thinking so that I can try to figure out where I don't understand bits. Okay, so we've got our game, we've got our square, we've got. Now we need to figure out what the key press thing is. The situation with the key press, right?
Guys, since I think the keys will take how long do you think the keys will take?
I don't know.
A long time? I think they'll take a long time.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So use key press. So where is this happening? It's in the app function, but where would you register this if you were using class detection?
You only register it there.
Okay, so where to use hooks, React class component.
I'm tired already.
Okay,
It's not
we're an hour in. We're an hour in.
hour in.
Yeah. From classes to hooks, introducing hooks, hooks at a glance, hooks.
I think we're gonna have to do some of this a little later. Do this in a different time. It's taking a long time. We're already past an hour, so I think I want to not bail, but
save some for later.
Not later, but save some for another day. Since I don't think we're gonna be able to finish it today, but today.
Okay.
But, we can save it for later.
All right. Well, arrow keys React.
So can we save it for later?
If you want to bail, you can. Go ahead.
Not bail, but don't you know what I want to do?
No.
I told you everything that I want already.
Oh.
So I think we're not gonna do the bad guy thingy.
I want to be able to move the train around.
Yes.
Let's get to the point where we can move the train around, and we can get 1 point. Okay.
Can we do that fast though?
We can.
Just, type.
No, we cannot. We cannot. We have to go slow.
Why?
That's the only way.
Why?
We have to do it. We have to actually do it, right? We have to write the code to do it.
Well,
How can you make a Harry
one-
Potter castle with Legos super fast?
No.
Why?
It's because it has more pieces.
Okay, so this has more pieces too. There's a lot of pieces that go into it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Logie Bud's gonna go take a little break. He is we're an hour into it. In the afternoon, it's tough for young buckaroos to hang in there for long streams. So we're just gonna play around a little bit longer and then see how far we can get. I had a lot of learning to do here for React, so still kind of just figuring it out, and still very much in like the play around with games phase. So I'm continuing to learn and experiment with the hopes that, there's a lot of folks who really, really enjoy working with React, and I think it's pretty good, and we use it internally, and generally it seems fun to work with once you're like in a existing system. So just trying to figure out like how you do some basic stuff in my downtime here. Yeah, playing around with how to get this all set up. So okay, so there's this arrow keys React component or thing that I installed, and it just added 239 packages just to use arrow keys. That doesn't seem right, right? Like, I feel like we should be able to figure out how to actually implement that by hand. So let's try cleaning that up. Yeah, okay, so handle key down. How does this work? Handle key down to bind this. The handle key down thing is a function that takes the cursor and the result. If the key code is that and the cursor is greater than that, then move the cursor around. Okay. Yeah, here's the React hooks flavored one. A list item, set hovered item, use key press. So this is like the same thing that I was just looking at, but use effect. Okay, so where is use key press actually used? Use key press, arrow down, arrow up. All these are defined as functions. Is that like the new cool way to do this? Use effect is called. And then you return this thing. Interesting. I don't like, is it that you use hooks or you use classes? Is that kind of like the difference? Because it seems like a pretty cool way to do this, but I just don't see folks doing that very much. Yeah, I guess I'll have to do some research around hooks versus class components here. Let's see. Does this one have a key press? No. Okay. Listen to key press in document. Here we go. So when the component did mount, I think is when we want to add it, right? Yeah. Okay. So in source, in the game, I think we want to say something like component did mount. This is when it's in the DOM, like when the game is already rendered into the DOM. We want to then add a listener to the event target. Am I the event target though? Handle key down. Document.add listener. So it's just adding it directly to the entire document. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Component did mount. Okay. This dot handle key down. Right. Okay. I think this is what we want. Handle key down. And we want to do something like this dot handle key down is equal to this dot handle key down dot. Oh, actually, yeah, I can just bind it here so that we get back to ourselves. Okay, so then I say handle key down, and this should take an event console.log e. And then when I come over here and I refresh the page, if I go to the console, Cool. And if I say left, right, up, down. So e dot prevent default. So don't scroll. And then we want to say like if e dot key is equal to arrow up, then we want to do something. Actually, yeah, switch on e dot key. JavaScript switch statements. Case arrow up. Do we have to break after each? Yeah. Down. Left. Right. So what seems to be happening is that now, like, the more that I use it, the more that I'm like, okay, so now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different event listeners. So we got to fix that for sure. Because we only want it to fire once. So document.add event listener component did mount. Like I thought this was the only time that it would mount, but what's going on here? Expected a default case. Okay. Case arrow left. If I refresh the page, hard refresh, and then we say left, right, up, down, up, down, up, down, 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 up, 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 down, left, right, left, right. Okay. That seems like it's actually doing what we want. So I think instead of, like, I think what we want to do is if we're going up, we want to set the state so that the train moves up. If we're going left, we want to set the state so the train moves down. So move train up. And this is going to be like this dot set state. Train is equal to this dot state dot train dot x plus 1. Y is this dot state dot train dot y. Maybe I can do this dot state dot train, and then x is this dot state dot train dot x plus 1. Let's see. Well, okay, that doesn't actually work because we're already in the top row. Maybe. Or no, we want it to actually go down, right? Oh, we're not calling it. Okay. I think that may have worked. Let's in here, let's console.log state, this dot state. Train is now at -1. Okay. So we should say like only go if this dot state dot train dot x is 0, then return. Or this dot state dot train x is equal to this dot props dot height. Oh no, because yeah. Well, okay, so we shouldn't, if we're going up, we should never worry about the bottom. So this should be fine. This should be sufficient. And then move train down should be basically the same thing. Except for we want to check the height and we want to add to it so that it moves down. And instead of this, we want to say this dot props dot height. If I stop move train down, I use the down arrow. Okay. Train.x. Move train down. So when I hit the down arrow. Oh, interesting. Okay, so it's moving, but it's moving the wrong way. Yeah, because we want to change y, don't we? We want to change y. So this should be y. This should be y. This should be y. I always mix up my x's and y's. And I'm sure they're probably broken or wrong or something, but whatever. Hey, okay, so now it's moving it down. Cool. Okay, so up is not working anymore. Why? Okay, so now we can move up and down the ladder, sort of, at least. We're like landing in a weird spot, but that's okay. Same thing for left and right. There's probably a better way to do this, right? Okay, so move left. If we're subtracting by 1 and that equals 0, or if that equals -1, then we don't want to go there. If we are increasing and x plus 1 is equal to the width, then we don't want to go there. Y plus 1 is height, then we don't want to go there. All right, so let's see if I can move around. I forgot to call it. So let's call it down here. So we're going to say this dot move train right and move train right. See what happens here. All right, refresh. Hard refresh. And then okay, that's cool. I fell off though. X is 26. Let's see. 21. Did I appear back onto the... Okay, I'm back. All right, so now the state's... Cool. So now we want to try to like get the luggage. So we want to try to find the same exact... Well, okay, let's make it so that the doesn't look as bad. So we can add square.css. And then in here we can say import. Right? I think that's how we do CSS. Yeah. Okay. So then we just have like a square component, right? Or a dot square. And we can say height is 10 pixels, width is 10 pixels, border 1 px solid. Uh-oh, did something crash? Nope. Okay. Source. All right, so we're firing back up here. All right, each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Check the render of game method. So did these not have a key prop? I thought they did. Oh, span class square. Is that what it's? Where are we creating squares? That's a key property right here. Is that not what it wants? Am I not using it? Like I thought this should contain. Oh, wow. The key is not even in there. Interesting. Why isn't that? Yeah, this key prop right here should be, I thought, should be rendering, right? Only do this if items have no stable IDs. There's no need to specify the key here. Why not? Wrong. The key should have been specified here. Okay. Which is what I did, right? Number to string. Yeah. Okay. And then the list. Keys must only be unique among siblings. Right? Like, I don't understand how this is not doing that. Like maybe someone else knows and can leave a comment below. But yeah, I thought that this was creating the key property with column dash row. But what's weird is I don't see that coming out as a prop down here. Oh, key is undefined. What's up with that? Huh. Why? What if I do like C times R plus, no, let's see. C plus 1 times R plus 1. No, that's not, I don't think that's unique either. Render. What? Okay, so here's my other thought is that I'm rendering these, like every single time we call render, I'm creating a whole bunch of new squares, like a whole set of new squares. And re-rendering all of those, I think, because squares is not part of state. Because I don't think there's a way to set down or like to pass down the state, right? Like, So this should be, yeah. I think that should work fine. But I'm still getting this error. Header div. What is up with that? In the render method of game. We're in game. And we're in the render method. And I don't think... No, I don't think this is working. So, all right, well, whatever. So let's see. Inspect. Each of these have a class of square. Square, 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 and then a BR. Okay. So over here. Okay. 50 pixels. Huh? What is going on here? Is this not? No. There we go. Display inline block. Okay, so the place where the BRs are, something's incorrect here. When we first render the page, the train is at 0, 0. Right? And then if I hit right. Okay. So I should not be able to hit right again because that would push me off the end. And I did. So something is wrong with my math around like whether or not it's allowed to go left or right. Okay, so we've got how many? Let's change the game so it's much smaller so that we can see here. Let's just do like 5 by 4 so we know there's a difference. So 5 high. Wait, okay, so this is wrong. I have my height and width mixed up. Okay. So height and width. We want these to be opposite. Okay. Wait, no. All right, we're still rendering 4 high, which means this BR should be after the width modulo is 0. Okay. Okay, so I don't think we should be able to like hit right, and then if I hit right again, it should do nothing. But instead, it's going down to the next square. So I think there's a couple things that are borked in terms of like X and Y. Okay. Height is Y. Height is up and down. Height is up and down. Height is Y, right? Yes. So always make X changes to x. Right? X is our width, y is our height. Y. Okay. X, y, X, y, X, y. Okay. And oh, that's fun. Okay, so with the width, right? If we set the width to 4, I believe we did. So the width is 4. So 0, 1. When we move the train up and down, that should be moving on y. And it is. And up and down is based on height. And it is. So when I hit the right arrow, move train right. If the straight, okay, so if the state's x plus 1, so 0, 1, 2, 3. So if 3 plus 1 is 4, and 4 equals this thing, then just return. That's what it should do. But when I hit right, so then on render, let's console.log state.train.x. Okay. So if I hit right, 1, 2, 3, 4, should do nothing. It should not going up. Okay. So something is up in our game. So move train right. If x is equal to this dot props dot width minus 1. Let's see if there's something to do with like, there we go. Okay, I have a hunch. The hunch is that by doing it this way, we are converting width into an integer. Like I think width might be a string or something. All right, now our problem is different. Right now our problem is that up and down also don't work. So, all right, so up. When we move the train up, when I hit the up arrow, we want the train's position to move down. So let's see, console.log x, or this is y now. So okay, so the numbers are correct and there's at the right boundaries, but it's updating the wrong thing, I think. What in the world? Okay, so where is is this at? Is x at or is y at? Is train at? X is the width, Y is the height. So is the train at that position? X, Y, X, Y. Okay. So let's put in the square, like for display of the square, let's put its X and Y just so we can see that. This dot props dot X. And Y. 0, 0, 0, 1. Wait, Y is 0 there. Y is Y 0. Okay, so when our squares are being initialized, they're being initialized incorrectly. I think this is correct. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. Okay. Left and right is working. Left and right is working. And up and down is working. Okay, that was too hard. All right, so then if we get the luggage, then you should get a point or something. But I think this is working now. Okay. And all right, whatever. So yeah, since Logan has sort of lost interest, I think we'll call it there. Since it was kind of just going to be like a fun little thing that we were playing with together. So yeah, hopefully that was useful. I don't know. I learned a couple things about like ways that I might approach this. And I think it'd be super fun to build a snake game eventually. But for now, yeah, I think I'm just going to call it there. Yeah, it was all right. Okay. See you later.